Greetings and salutations. I am Poetic Heretic, and this is a special report that is the first in a new series of videos I am doing, where we will be analyzing in depth all 12 signs of the zodiac and their relationship to each other. We will be going through them in the order of the zodiac, starting with Aries and ending with Pisces, and thus we begin here with Aries. I should note first, however, that what we're really looking at here is archetypes. Astrology is much more complex than just what sun sign one is born under. There is no pure Aries individual, because anyone who is born under the sign of Aries is also going to have an ascendant sign, moon sign, and a sign for all the other planets. The same, of course, goes for those born under all the other signs. Furthermore, the position of each planetary body in each sign at the time the individual is born is going to determine what kind and what level of influence each sign has on that person. While the sun sign is generally the most dominant, all the other planets absolutely must be taken into account if one is to get an accurate astrological depiction of the personality in question. However, again, this is not the purpose of this report or the future reports in this series. Instead, think of this report as a study on the archetype itself. What I would ask people to consider also is that each one of us contains each of the 12 zodiac signs within us, regardless of what sun sign you were born under. If you were born under Aries, then of course the influence of that sign is going to be strong. But even if you weren't born under Aries, you're still going to have some level of Aries within you that can be determined by your own astrological chart. So do keep in mind as we go through this lengthy analysis that no matter who you are, you have your own inner Aries, and you can learn a lot about yourself by studying this sign. Now let us begin. The sign of Aries is represented by the ram. It was first seen in Egypt and was also symbolized by the head of a goose. It is the sign for those born from March 21st to April 20th, though some sources say this time period ends on April 19th. Positive traits of Aries include being audacious, vigorous, trailblazing, brave, eager, self-assured, forceful, and smart. Dark traits of Aries include being self-centered, hot-tempered, impetuous, restless, reckless, and risky. Being the first sign in the zodiac, Aries represents new beginnings. They are open-minded, all about freedom, and love a challenge. They are also purpose-driven and like fast results. They make great leaders and are responsible. They care about their followers or underlings, but they don't like being followers themselves. They might not obey if they see their obedience as pointless or unjust. They are heavily focused on their own self and self-reliant. They are also very much focused on physical gratification. Aries have high energy levels, causing them to be aggressive, sometimes even argumentative. They can be prone to grudges. Aries are meant to get things started, having a will that is easily expressed. They are occasionally difficult to relate to. It is recommended that Aries honor their pioneering spirit and not let others stop them from doing what they want to do. This sign especially should avoid getting caught in a trap of feelings of regret, self-pity, and hatred. Aries tends to be objective and intellectual. They do well fighting for lost causes. However, they can sometimes be too optimistic, as well as having a tendency to rush into things before fully thinking them out. It is highly advantageous for Aries to develop very strong self-control. It is good for Aries to have a clear idea of what their overall goal or intention is prior to carrying it out. Aries should allow themselves to be forceful because that is what is natural to them. They are meant to be champions in life. Aries should remember, however, that sometimes it is best to not push against unwanted things if they are too big and powerful, and that some things just aren't going to change overnight. The development of patience brings great balance to Aries' talents. Aries likes acting on inspiration, fighting for a cause, challenges, being first, and action. Aries dislikes suggestions from others, oppression from authority, lack of opposition, conceding failure, and delays. Aries' element is fire. Let us take a look at what that means. Fire signs are all about passion, intuition, spontaneity, and inspiration. They are also impulsive and easily excited. The fire element also includes Leo and Sagittarius. Signs under the fire element search for all kinds of fun and excitement. They tend to have sudden, powerful realizations and energetic flares of enthusiasm. They often display an intense passion for life. They enjoy extravagant lifestyles and tend to feel irritated by day-to-day chores. Fire signs are all about trusting their instincts. While their faith takes them far, they can miss necessary steps on the path to what they want. They may also be oblivious to how what they do affects others emotionally. Fire signs emit a warm radiance, believe in the journey of life, and take chances. They greatly enhance parties and celebrations, and they tend to bring out spontaneity in others. They are naturally gifted with the ability to help others find their way in life. They can appear reckless from acting on their instincts so much, but they are just doing what is natural to them, which is following their potent intuition. Fire signs tend to be in love with life. They should be careful to protect the burning flame of their enthusiasm, refusing to allow it to become distorted or discordant from those who don't believe in them. Instead, if possible, fire signs should surround themselves with people who encourage them, in effect fanning the flames of their passion. Fire must realize, however, that there are not always shortcuts in life and that it must think of others too. Failure to do so will result in fire having to learn things the hard way. Fire should embrace the value of the other elements and allow itself to be embraced by them. The heat and warmth of fire signs is as life-giving as the sun itself. In this next section, let us take a look at Aries' cardinal quality. The 4 cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Qualities are also known as modes and include cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The meaning of the word cardinal is first, as well as principal or pivotal. Cardinal signs are those that boldly initiate new beginnings. They are the ones that make plans and push forward with them, as well as attract assistance for their endeavors. They are leaders. They are all about beginning new projects and are at their best when controlling or managing everything. For Aries, being a cardinal means being a catalyst, as well as inspiring people through Aries' dedication to their ideal or goal. Cardinals, being initiators, also typically set the mood when in a group, similar to how their signs begin each of the 4 seasons. Aries marks the beginning of spring. Aries' ruling planet is Mars. Let us delve into how this influences the young ram. Mars is the planet of action. It also represents passion, determination, energy, and drive. Mars demands that you boldly rise up and do what you have to do. It is the opposite of laziness and non-participation. Mars represents the powerful expression of individuality as well as competition and ambition. It inspires us to face things head-on. Aggression, honor, and courage are also all within its realm. It is the planet of assertiveness and fearlessness. It contains both constructive and destructive energy depending on how it is used. To the ancients, Mars was the god of war, with high inclination towards violence and brutality. Mars remains this way today, being the planet that governs the military. However, this energy can also be used for good, in other words, for creation as opposed to destruction. Mars stands for achievement, ambition, and stamina. All forms of sexuality are governed by Mars. The same goes for guns and weaponry, as well as surgical procedures. Harnessed wisely, however, the powerful energy of Mars is highly useful. Mars' zodiac orbit lasts almost 2 years. It is the planet of masculine energy, governing the signs of Aries and Scorpio. Let us now analyze what Aries is like when it comes to love and relationships. Aries is direct and to the point in all relationships. They make for passionate lovers and are likely to have a strong sex drive. They also make for eager and generous friends. However, they are annoyed by dullness or mildness in others with whom they are involved. They may ignore or disparage the sensitivities of their companions despite their own inner sensitivity. They are prone to promiscuity, as well as to getting married too soon, often resulting in the destruction of the marriage. Aries parents are very dedicated to their children. They are in fact the most loving and protective parents of the entire zodiac. Aries are strong-willed lovers. They may easily go from losing their temper one moment to affirmations of eternal adoration the next. Aries needs a partner who accepts their need for independence and freedom. As a lover, they are too fast-paced for some signs and may end up scaring them off. They find it challenging figuring out how to make compromises with their lovers. They may be overly demanding. They are very much the persistent type, pursuing the person they desire with the utmost passion and enthusiasm. There is a high probability for their immediately doing great things for their lovers right at the start of a relationship due to their usual impulsiveness. Aries are prone to extreme outbursts of anger, but fortunately these outbursts are typically short-lived. They need a lover who is prepared to handle this. Aries tends to be best matched with other fire signs or air signs, but there will be a more in-depth analysis of this later. People are attracted to Aries largely due to their passion for life and adventurousness. But on the other hand, people are repelled from Aries due to their anger, self-centered perspective, and risky nature. Aries' impulsiveness leaves them vulnerable to bad decisions when it comes to love that they end up regretting later. When Aries meets their ideal match, however, their partners not only find Aries interesting, but also enjoy their consistently fresh ideas for their relationship. Being in a relationship with an Aries is always exciting. Let us now examine Aries' relationship with money and career. Ideal careers or life paths for Aries include political leaders, soldiers, astronauts, explorers, doctors, and athletes. When it comes to money, Aries is aggressive about making it. A large number of them are self-employed due to their need for freedom. They care more about how much money they make than the notoriety they gain in the process. They see their amount of money as an indication of how well they are doing at being first and or the best. To them, money is not quite as important as success itself. Aries is about winning first and foremost. Due to their being the youngest sign, they are mostly looking for action and adventure. They are very creative in finding ways to make money. It is extremely challenging for them to save money, however. Unless self-disciplined to do otherwise, they will usually spend money as soon as they make it. Their agenda is to be number one, so they tend to be self-centered with money and business, possibly even to the point of naming something they created, like a product or a company, after themselves. They like really good deals and discounts when spending money. It is advantageous, however, for Aries to do whatever it takes to manage their finances so that they will always have some extra money for when they really need it, as opposed to dealing with the stress of running out of it all the time. Next, we will focus on Aries in the area of health. Aries governs the face, head, cranium, nerve centers, brain, carotid arteries, and jaw. Potential ailments include depression, neuralgia, sunstroke, headaches and migraines, sinusitis, illnesses of the mouth, baldness, nervous disorders, indigestion, kidney issues, lower back problems, jaw problems, especially having an underbite, and injuries due to a high inclination for extreme physical activity. Aries should be careful to avoid being too extreme. This goes for all areas of life, physical, mental, and emotional. They should also be extra cautious when driving or using machinery, being especially vulnerable to face and head injuries. Aries should also refrain from consuming high amounts of sugar. With angry Mars being their ruling planet, some Aries can be very short-tempered. Fortunately, however, they tend to not stay angry for very long. The importance of exercise for Aries should also be mentioned. Aries needs physical activity. The exercises should be very strenuous. Failure to do so will result in high stress levels. Team sports and martial arts are ideal. Getting regular exercise dramatically improves Aries' overall health. While one could argue this is true for any sign, it is especially true for Aries. If Aries doesn't get to release their excess energy through exercise or some other outlet, they will tend to take it out on other people. Let us look at some beneficial foods. Wheat, barley, and fish are all good foods for Aries to consume. Surprisingly enough, Aries are advised against eating a lot of meat, but this is mainly due to their fiery disposition. For this same reason, they should generally stay away from very spicy food. It also helps for Aries to consume a lot of spinach, tomatoes, salads, and juices. Drinking large amounts of water will help control their temper. It is said that drinking copious amounts of cold water when Aries is feeling angry or upset will help restore them to a more balanced emotional state. Before we get into Aries' relationship with the other signs, here is a list of some famous Aries. Musician Elton John, singer Mariah Carey, political leader Zbigniew Brzezinski, artist Vincent van Gogh, actress Doris Day, actor Gregory Peck, magician Harry Houdini, singer David Cassidy, and U.S. President Thomas Jefferson. For the section on Aries' relationship with the other signs, we will be looking at how Aries relates to others of all 12 signs in the areas of friendship, love, and work. First, we have Aries and Aries. A friendship formed by two Aries may contain small fights. Sometimes these may intensify to true drama. Each Aries should respect the other's personal space, for it is something of which Aries feels highly protective. When they respect one another's skills and abilities, they get along well. It is ideal if they take turns being the leader. When it comes to two Aries in the area of love, it tends to be either wonderful or horrible. Both of them will have masculine and dominant energy. In order to be successful, Both must learn to take turns being the one in charge. One or both of them will need to know how to stay calm. This is best done by practicing rational thinking. With both of them full of passion, they will tend to create a plethora of exciting times together that are extremely energizing for both of them. If neither of them have mastered remaining calm and rational, however, their relationship is likely to become superficial and also may end up largely based on nothing more than sex. Therefore, for two Aries partners to last, at least one of them must transcend the typical challenges and limitations of Aries regarding things like time and patience. When it comes to work, two Aries working together in business or as co-workers is not the best combination, but they may still find success. Their Aries ambition could be a slight problem as they might end up competing with each other. Letting an Aries know that they are appreciated for their work is important. This will make the Aries individual feel more like an ally and a co-worker. Another plus when two Aries work together is that the job is guaranteed to get done. Let us look at Aries and Taurus. In the area of friendship, Aries is impulsive while Taurus takes their time. This could lead to conflict or it could be helpful to both. Aries can bring out some well-timed spontaneity in Taurus, and Taurus can help Aries to be more thorough in all areas of life. It is likely that these two will sometimes need to give each other some space, but their differences are the friendship's primary strength. When it comes to Aries and Taurus in love, it makes sense that they would be attracted to each other, with Aries ruling planet being masculine principle Mars and Taurus ruling planet being feminine principle Venus. But the truth is, it is very difficult for them to see eye to eye. Aries is full of energy and spontaneity, while Taurus likes to take things slow. Aries enjoys going on adventures. Taurus likes remaining close to home. Taurus sees making money as important. Aries would rather spend money, making the likelihood very high for fights about money. While an Aries-Taurus relationship can work if both of them really work at it, they usually don't. With work, Aries and Taurus are quite different in work and business. It is difficult for them to remain focused when working together, and the same goes for staying committed to monetary and company principles. Aries wants to boldly jump into getting the work done, while Taurus prefers the more slow and methodical approach. The potential for disagreement regarding the way work gets done is high with these two, to the point of not getting enough or any work done at all. They are good, however, when working with others to come up with new ideas, especially in advertising, design, and fashion. If both sides can compromise a little with what the other prefers, they can still find success when working together. Let us look at Aries and Gemini. Friendships between these two tend to be dynamic. Gemini comes up with great ideas that Aries loves executing. Gemini then enjoys encouraging Aries. They make a great and highly productive team. However, they are both so fearless that it may sometimes be to their detriment if they do not learn to be careful. This is more bravery on Aries' part and curiosity on Gemini's part, both of which will need to be tempered for the safety of the two. Aries and Gemini in love usually makes for a vibrant relationship of high energy and vitality. Both sides love knowledge and exploring new territory. Dominant Aries loves to lead, while innovative Gemini enjoys coming up with fresh ways to please. Their biggest challenge will likely be trust, particularly if Aries becomes too dependent on freedom-seeking Gemini. Generally speaking, though, these two are a very good match, especially thanks to their mutual sense of adventure. In work, the biggest problem Aries and Gemini face is that Aries works best in a group and Gemini strongly dislikes working in groups, most often opting to work on their own. There is a certain psychological strength to this pair, however, meaning they might be able to resolve this discord by discussing it with each other and coming to understand it. When this isn't an issue, the two are actually a great match when it comes to work. The fire of Aries burns through any roadblocks they might encounter, while Gemini is full of creative ideas. Aries is brave and fearless, and if ever this fearlessness becomes too much, Gemini will pull Aries back from the precipice. The air of Gemini fuels the fire of Aries. Let us analyze the Aries-Cancer relationship. As friends, they are capable of great things. Being both cardinal signs, they make great leaders. Aries takes creative chances, while Cancer understands the mind of the people. This makes them good planners for things like parties and fundraisers, as well as good business partners. Sometimes, however, Aries might be a bit too bold, causing Cancer to back off, and Cancer might make Aries feel guilty for various things, temporarily weakening Aries' usual eagerness. Overall, however, these two make great friends, complementing one another's strengths very well. When it comes to love, Aries' impatience does not mix with Cancer's more slow and emotional nature. One or both are likely to get hurt. The only way it can really work is by setting strong boundaries. It is not easy at all. But the rewards of a successful Aries-Cancer relationship make it arguably worth it, so much so that they likely won't ever be happy with anyone else. In the area of work, the energetic and potent aspects of Aries tend to go well with the financial aptitude and instinctive protectiveness of Cancer. They make a good team in that Aries is typically on the offense and Cancer is typically on the defense. Other astrologers disagree, however, pointing out that Cancer wants to make things pleasant and comfortable prior to taking action, while Aries likes to jump into things and take action right away. They also note that emotion is a priority for Cancer while achievements are essential in the mind of Aries. In order to succeed, it is necessary for both of them to feel enough freedom with each other to talk openly and honestly about work-related matters. They both will likely need to compromise. Next up is Aries and Leo. Their friendship is one of extreme excitement. They are both fire signs. Of the two, Aries is the more bold and extroverted one, always looking for adventure and exploration, while Leo revels in luxury, waiting to hear of Aries' adventures. Both are highly active and likely to play sports, creating ample opportunity for some friendly competition. Neither one likes to lose, however, so things might get a bit heated when the two go up against each other. But in general, these friends greatly appreciate the flame in one another's heart. In love, Aries and Leo tend to have a very special and energetic relationship as long as each of them can get used to sharing the spotlight with the other. Aries and Leo are highly compatible when it comes to sex and are likely to have lots of it. Their union is likely to be both passionate and turbulent, but they generally don't even mind fighting. They are inseparable once truly in love. They are very much ones to fight for their love. Both being fire signs, they are not really about peace, but instead their burning passion and intense energy is what attracted them to each other to begin with. These two naturally thrive in the fires of chaos. Aries and Leo are also in great harmony in the work world. They are unlikely to work on mundane or trivial tasks, but instead focus on work involving challenge, adventure, travel, and danger. They are frequently found in the upper echelons of advertising, corporate finance, or investment. Being fire signs, they are very ambitious. Aries likes jumping right into the action and getting things done, while Leo enjoys their role as the face of the company or project. Aries doesn't mind sharing the spotlight as long as they get what they're after in their career. Let us look at the Aries-Virgo relationship. When it comes to friendship, they both enjoy serving others and thus may form a friendship as a result of this mutual predisposition. Aries says whatever they're thinking, while Virgo chooses their words carefully. Aries sees Virgo as being affected by things too easily, whereas Virgo sees Aries as overly grandiose. Aries, however, is thankful when Virgo resolves their issues with other people, and Virgo appreciates the inspiration Aries gives them to take chances. In a romantic relationship, Aries' leadership tends to conflict with Virgo's critical nature. Their sexual energy is also more or less opposite, Aries being bold and ready for anything, and Virgo being much more reserved. An Aries-Virgo relationship can only work if the two are willing to work hard at it and have patience with one another. But on the plus side, such a relationship is never boring. Still, however, they typically do not last. The ideal relationship between them would have Virgo becoming a little more Aries-like, and Aries letting Virgo show them how to focus their thoughts and interact with others in a more relaxed and focused manner. Accomplishing this would make it possible for their relationship to succeed. In the realm of work, Aries and Virgo tend to really annoy each other. Their problem-solving methods are often complete opposites and may be cause for all sorts of delays and tension that is counterproductive for themselves and everyone else. Though this can be amusing to others, it is not long until it stops being funny and simply remains a problem. With Aries' element being fire, they like to push forward all the time, while Virgo's element being earth means they first want to analyze and organize things to make the work go more smoothly. The only scenario that can really work well with these two is when Virgo is the boss and Aries is the employee. This is because Virgo, for the most part, knows exactly what their intentions are, and Aries is very good at getting results. Next, we look at Aries and Libra. As friends, they form an odd friendship. Aries tries to get Libra to take risks, not care what other people think, and be more bold. Libra tries to get Aries to ease up on the gas, take his or her time, and appreciate things. Despite its oddness, the friendship works very well. With Libra's help, Aries learns how to be more diplomatic, and Aries can help Libra be more assertive. They will spend time apart sometimes, however, both having quite different interests. In love, Aries and Libra typically have a very strong connection in the beginning, as well as high sexual compatibility. However, if Aries becomes too demanding, Libra will likely want out of the relationship. While the physical compatibility alone can be enough to keep them together at times, a truly successful relationship only happens when Aries and Libra meet one another halfway. In business together, it is most ideal for Libra to be in charge of marketing and Aries to be in charge of maintaining a strong client or customer base. Their personalities do not go so well together when it comes to business, but it still works as long as they keep their distance and respect one another. A problem they might have to watch out for is the conflict between Libra's desire to ensure that all perspectives are considered and heard, and Aries' tendency to not pay attention to or care what others say, preferring instead to focus on their own dreams and aspirations. In addition to the aforementioned recommendations, Libra does very well when dealing with customers personally and making sure they are satisfied, and Aries does very well with work that requires a lot of action. Let us look at Aries and Scorpio. A friendship between these signs tends to make for an explosive experience. They naturally attract trouble and love it. They are all about extremes when having fun. They may even be prone to breaking the law. Luckily, Scorpio is extremely good at getting out of sticky situations, and Aries is also very good at breaking free with the help of their bold personality. Aries and Scorpio can really accomplish a lot together. Sometimes they may conflict over trivial matters, however. In love, Aries and Scorpio have a strong tendency to collide both sexually and emotionally. They are likely to hurt each other in the process. They tend to negate and bring out the worst in one another. However, if they can find balance with each other, these two can last. As for work, it is not a good idea for these signs to work together. Scorpio, being a water sign, tends to extinguish the fire of Aries' passion. While Aries is boldly stepping into action, Scorpio wants to explore the depths of emotional matters. They are likely to have communication problems. Aries simply says what is on their mind without thinking of the emotional impact of their words, and Scorpio tends to hurt easily. Now we examine Aries and Sagittarius. As friends, these signs feel an immediate attraction. They are both fire signs. They enjoy parties that last into the late night hours. Aries focuses more on the latest trends, while Sagittarius is more about tradition, though this may not be entirely accurate due to Sagittarius being a mutable sign and thus prone to change. Aries likes how Sagittarius is able to make things more fun, and Sagittarius enjoys the eagerness of Aries. They both love sports, meaning these two friends are likely to be found hanging out at gymnasiums, playgrounds, or anywhere else where they can play sports. When it comes to love, both are highly energetic and love being active and social, making their relationship a fun and magical one. The Aries-Sagittarius relationship is one of great harmony in every area, with virtually perfect sexual compatibility. It is a union with a lot of potential. They tend to have some differences when it comes to their world views, but these usually don't get in the way of their harmony and may even add positively to their relationship. When working together, the bold and powerful energy of Aries usually blends well with the strength and endurance of Sagittarius. With their both being fire signs, they have a natural affinity for one another. Aries doesn't have time for small talk when it comes to work, which suits Sagittarius just fine, who has a tendency of sometimes saying the wrong thing anyway. The two signs easily understand what they can expect from the other. Both prefer to just focus on their work together and enjoy the fact that they're able to easily do so. They are a very productive team and work in harmony. Let us analyze Aries and Capricorn. As friends, these signs form a strange friendship. Aries looks ahead, while Capricorn looks behind. Both are great leaders, however. They will like making things of great value together. Aries is really good at going out and getting things done, and Capricorn is great at managing money for the long term. They can really accomplish a lot together, but only if they can get past their differences. Let us look at these signs in love. Both are leaders, and this causes conflict, especially because both lead in very different ways. Capricorn's desire to save money and Aries' desire to spend money make these two prone to argue about money. While Aries enjoys variety, Capricorn prefers tradition, making disharmony even more likely. Basically, Capricorn and Aries are both similar and different in all the wrong ways. It is a relationship where neither one tends to be lighthearted. Both being stubborn signs, they might stubbornly stay together if they really love each other, however. In order to succeed, they must greatly understand and respect one another. As for the area of work, these signs are too complicated when working together. It is not an ideal partnership. They would have a strong tendency to argue about trivial things. While Aries, being ruled by Mars, likes to aggressively move forward and get stuff done, Capricorn, whose ruling planet is Saturn, prefers doing things the traditional and well-planned out way. The two signs are likely to struggle against each other as both try to make things happen their own way. It is difficult for them to find the balance necessary to work together effectively. Now for an analysis of Aries and Aquarius. In friendship, they have very much in common. Both really like unique and interesting ideas and ways of doing things. Both are trailblazers and tend to quickly become friends. Aries gets excited much more easily than Aquarius, who is even more stubborn than Aries. They may be prone to arguments about financial matters, work, and relationships. Such disagreements shouldn't last long, however, unless one or both is overly controlling. Independence is extremely important to both signs. Both of them hate other people trying to run their lives. In the area of love, an Aries-Aquarius relationship usually doesn't last. However, both are very passionate lovers while they are together. They have very little tenderness. Aquarius, in a largely unemotional way, supports Aries' primal alpha male energy. Aquarius can be very surprising, however, both in a relationship and in general. In the world of work, they are likely to do well together, but only if all those involved stay focused on their work and do not get distracted by individual differences and annoyances. Aquarius will seem chaotic to Aries sometimes, but overall Aries will acknowledge that Aquarians are good workers once they know what they're supposed to do. Aries will often bring stability to an Aquarius coworker. Aquarius might also end up being the brains of the business, while Aries takes care of the more physically demanding tasks. Lastly, we have Aries and Pisces. As friends, they form an unusual friendship. While quite different, they actually do share some traits. Both tend to be easily hurt by criticism. But while Aries is one to lash out in pain, Pisces tends to be silent. They can form a very robust support system for each other by encouraging one another. Aries inspires Pisces to further utilize their creativity, while Pisces helps Aries find assurance that their instincts are right on. When it comes to love, it is hard for them to find balance. But in the rare cases they do, their relationship is full of creative energy. The primary challenges in this relationship are neither sign being able to trust the other or open up to the other. Both basically need to loosen up with the other in order for the relationship to work. Aries is much more focused on the physical, whereas Pisces is much more focused on the spiritual, making it a challenge for these two to come together. When it comes to work, Aries and Pisces tend to do well as business partners. This is especially if Pisces is in charge of design and Aries is in charge of ideas. This combination will have the two of them getting along quite well, and usually Pisces will find it acceptable if Aries prefers to take the lead, as they so often do. Other astrologers disagree, however, noting that Pisces' emotional nature may dampen Aries' fiery ambition. They also point out the difficulty they have in agreeing on anything, as well as potential communication issues and the importance of finding meaning to Pisces that is generally not shared by Aries. That concludes our study of Aries. Being the first sign in the zodiac, Aries is all about getting things started, boldly moving forward with their fiery passion and burning enthusiasm. The young ram is aggressive and powerful, ready to devour whatever great task he sets for himself. He is the alpha male, the warrior, the conqueror, the prince, the leader, the winner, the trailblazer, the one who is always number one. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we all have an aspect of Aries within us, inspiring us to boldly move forward into the conquering of anything and everything we want. Let us burn. This has been a special report from Poetic Heretic. Don't forget to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.